Hey there, welcome back to Total Geek Live Baltimore Presents. I am Baltimore, and today you are in for a treat. I am bringing you AOX, which is Age of X. This is a 2011 storyline by Mike Carey with art by Clay Mann. I love alternate universe tales. I love them. I think they're fun. I think they're interesting. I love the kind of twists you see with the characters, what changes are made and why they made them, what makes them who they are. Do they kind of stay with this core value system and beliefs, or do they switch? Good people are bad people are good. What is it that makes them tick, and how did this universe switch it all up? So I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm always down for a good alternate universe tale. And this one did not disappoint. I tell you that right now. So this is X-Men Legacy, which was I think 245 to 249, and New Mutants, which was 22 through 24. So that was it. We had an alpha issue, and I think we had two AOX universe issues, which kind of gave a big backstory of all the Marvel characters, the main universe characters like the Avengers and all that, how they were affected by this. And this is set during the Utopia time period of the X-Men era, which means they're going to be in San Francisco, off the coast in Utopia, which is their floating base in the shore, offshore. The redesigns by Clay Mann are amazing, incredible. They're great, and some of them sort of found a way to kind of be, brought back into the main universe when it all came to a head. But it was really amazing. I love it. You have to check them out, if not just for the redesigns. They're amazing. So basically, the premise of this, before we have, okay, so basically, let me tell you this. So Age of Apocalypse, it's a riff on that AOX, AOA. Okay. So what was the genesis of AOA? It was Legion. Professor Xavier's son, who is dissociative identity disorder. So there's so many personalities in his head that each have different powers. They're all very, very out of control. He doesn't have a lot of ability to maintain a certain status quo. So, Dr. Nemesis, who was with the X-Men at this point, decided he was going to help Legion out and basically started eliminating his personalities. Well, the personality didn't take too kindly to this, shocker, and basically created a new personality, X, who was going to basically save them. And Nemesis went too far one day, and Legion just went crazy, and the AOX universe was born. So basically, Fortress X is Utopia, but it's actually set sort of in the New York area, with remnants of the Chrysler Building, Empire State Building, Statue of Liberty. All those iconic buildings are part of this Fortress X. And they have what they call the Force Warriors, these telekinetics who basically shield Fortress X and use their powers to stop the advancing endless horde of humans that are attacking them. Basically, there's an army attacking us, no rest, no rest, no rest, keep going, keep going, keep going. So the Force Warriors consisted of, you had Psylocke, you had Legion, you had Uniscone, which she actually went by, I believe it was Standoff. You had Revenant, who was, when you're first revealed on these images, you're like, oh my god, that's Jean. Jean's here. But the coloring is a little bit different. You're like, And then the reveal that it was actually Rachel Summers, was amazing because I love Rachel, and it was in that homage of her early Phoenix outfit, that yellow and then the red tinges. I was like, what a beautiful redesign, kind of homaging that. So she was part of that, trying to keep the advancing horde, for lack of a better word, away from Fortress X. Magneto was in charge. Cannonball was one of the second in command, so that was really awesome to see him kind of step it up. Um, you have Legacy, which is basically Rogue. Um, doesn't have her, main powers of Miss Marvel, but she has her powers too, memories and powers. And basically, she did a really cool redesign as well with the glove. Basically, she and anyone who was killed, she would absorb their memories and they would live on through her. And of course, for me, this was tragic because who do they use to show this effect? Tempo, a former MLF Mutant Liberation Front member. She had some great characterization in the mid '90s, where her father, her some relative, was uh, part of a uh, unborn mutant detecting company, and the MLF was going to bomb them, and she, walks away from them, sabotages it, and saves him. But it was really, really powerful, and I've really loved her too. She's an interesting power set. She can freeze time around her, makes things go slower or faster depending on. So that's kind of cool. But she dies, and it's tragic, and she doesn't come back, and that's even worse. Um, so consequences, right? But this is a really, really cool alternate universe tale. We have Magneto in charge of Fortress X. We have um, Wolverine, who's sort of retired. He just runs a bar that's there. You have really great redesigns on all the New Mutants, which is called Moonstar's Cadre, which is her Sunspot, who's called Eclipse here. You've got Karma, Magma, Cypher Warlock mix up, and Dust. So it's a really powerful, scavenging hunter team. It's like you do not want to mess with them, like not at all, because they're such a really cool, well developed team. In the X-Wing, you have all the people who could crash down this alternate universe if the people knew. That would be Blindfold. That would be Xavier. That would be Emma, the Cuckoos. Ileana, Kitty, ends up going because she figures out that something is wrong, and she comes back and she shows Magneto, who Magneto knows and figures it out, and he's trying to save the situation, but kind of figure out what's going on so that the real reality can set in, and make it right. Rogue finds out that this reality is weird. She finds out about the X-Brig, and Danger, who is the living embodiment of the Danger Room, sentient robot, is the warden. She keeps all of the prisoners there. Um, and then we find out that X, who is supposed to be in charge of all this, is running the show, sort of, looks exactly like Maura McTaggart. Maura McTaggart, who died many years ago, the legacy virus, the only human to contract it and die. So you're like, okay, something is not quite right. And you go into it and you find out, try to figure out this mystery, like what's going on, how are they going to get out of it, what's going to be the ramifications. And what was also really fun, and another thing I love about alternate universe stories, is all the interesting pairings you get, all the things that are different that really are really cool. And for instance, in this one you have Namor and Storm, and Storm is still married to Black Panther at this point. So Namor and Storm are together, and you have Cyclops and Frenzy. Frenzy, the acolyte, she and Cyclops, who's called Basilisk here, are together, and that is really fascinating to see them together and to see that kind of relationship and what it does to further Frenzy's development when the universe is, taken away and merged back with reality. That's really fascinating. Um, we had Legion, who cracked this reality up because he wanted to be a superhero, in reaction to Dr. Nemesis. And he would be the hero he always wanted to be, and that's what he did. That's what Moira did. That's what X was able to do for Legion. Unfortunately, this is a seven. It took place in a week. The actual thing took place in a week, but for them it was, I think 1,000 days. So all that development within 7 days, that's a lot to wrap your head around. Really, 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 really fascinating. But in the end, Gambit and Rogue and Magneto save the day. They figure out what's going on. They stop X, and in effect, stop Legion from, you know, concocting this Age of X reality. Um, and so when things shift back to the prime reality, that's kind of when the fun stuff happens, because they were given an option. They could remember their time on in the Age of X universe, or they could completely forget it. And it's really fascinating to see the ones who wanted to forget it. Namor Storm, um, a lot of other people wanted to get it, and of course, Emma and Cyclops and Frenzy now have a crazy little relationship going on, because she decides to keep the memories of her with Scott, but she does it because she wants to be the hero. She wants to change. And I think that's really fascinating growth that we didn't get to see a lot more of, but we did get to see a little bit of it, and I really enjoyed that. So it was really fascinating. You know me, I love alternate universe stories, and AOX was an amazing one. It had a lot of ramifications, a lot of things spun out of it. We got Rachel back from space, and then we got a space epic with Rogue, Magneto, and Gambit, and Legion actually going all the way up there to space to retrieve Hallex and Lorna. So that was really great. It was just a lot of fun. This AOX was a lot of fun, a lot of interesting dynamics. Like I said before, it's really fun to see that and kind of discover the mystery. Like, what was the trigger? What was the inciting event that made this happen? And it's really great. Get the trades out. You're going to love it. I promise you that. It's going to be great. The redesign's amazing. The story is really good. You have to take it out. So tell me what your favorite parts of AOX are. Who was your favorite redesigned character? What was the one that most, complete 180 for you, that you really enjoyed? Tell me below. Sign off on that. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, it's all geek to us. And I'll be back soon.